Okay, now that we got the wood planed and everything is cut to size, we got our nice straight edges on the ends of the piece, and it's at our 48 inches in length, 7 inches in width. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take what we have the spec sheet marked as and mark out our pieces. So we're going to use a yardstick and a contractor square. So I'm going to find where 14 inches is, which I have right here. I'm going to lay the contractor square nice and flat. I'm going to draw a nice straight line. So I have that marked out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, I'm going to put that meter stick right back on here, and I'm going to mark out an 1/8 inch. And the reason why I'm marking out 1 extra 1/8 inch is because that will give us enough space for the blade when we cut this on the table saw, that the blade will fit in between that 1/8 inch mark, because that's how thick the blade is, and we will still have our accurate measurements. So now I just added on 1/8 inch. Again, our measurements will be less than 48 inches. We've calculated for this. Okay, so now I'm going to measure from this next line our second 14 inches. So I'm going to lay down the meters or the yardstick. I really want this to be a meter stick. It's like the 100th time today I've said that. Make sure it's nice and flat. We got it right at 14 inches. Boom. All right. Speed mark. And then I'm just going to overlap this again, right at that 14 inches, make sure it's still there, which it is. I'm just going to move out 1 extra 1/8 inch. That's why I'm using these meter sticks, or these yard sticks, because they are in 1/8 inches. So you can see there, now I'm one click down, and that's another 1/8 inch. So I'm going to draw my quick line. Now, I'm going to make one more line in this section, because we're actually going to end up cutting 2 3.5 inch pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the contractor square to 3.5 inches. Okay, lay it on one of our flat edges, same one we've been doing, and I'm just going to mark off a couple lines. There's one there, there's one there, and there's one there. And now I can take this yardstick. Good grief! I'm going to line up those 3 lines, so I have a perfect 3.5 inch chunk. And obviously 3.5 and 3.5 don't make 7.5 or 7 inches. Oh, sorry, it's a 7 inch piece, so we're all perfect. Okay, I was thinking something else. All right, so now we're gonna do our 2 8.5 inch side pieces. So again, I'm gonna draw a line. I'm gonna make sure this is nice and straight. This time I'm gonna go to 8.5 inches. Right here. Make sure I'm on the line. 8.5 inches, move this over just a little bit. Okay, 8.5. And then I'm just going to move it down 1/8 inch right away. So there we go, 8 5/8. All right, and then I'll finish off that line in just a second. And then one more 8.5 inch piece, which puts me somewhere in this area, I bet. Oh, pretty close. 8.5 inches right there. And I don't have to do another 1/8 inch line, because that's the end. Okay, that little chunk will go into our bins, and then for the scrap, and then we're good to go. So if you have any questions, come see us.